Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of looking at Max's face. He's doing some really creepy eyes thing at me through the screen here. I don't know what's going on, but we have another episode from the World Series of Poker.
Hell yes.
Episode 5 from out here, I believe.
Well, actually, it's from the World Series and from the Twin Cities.
Shut up, Max.
Fair. Dude. So word on the street is I will be coming out tomorrow, which is Friday, July 4th. And then, coming out for whoever knows how long. The longer, if I'm there for a while, that means I'm doing well. So, we'll see how it goes. Going to hop in the mix, play some qualifiers for the main, see if we can get in for cheap, and then, just kind of go with the flow. So really looking forward to getting back out there tomorrow. So, figured we'd get another episode out here today. And, it is, I guess, is this week 5 now? It all kind of starts
This
to
is
mold
week
together.
5, and actually, ironically, as we're recording, it marks exactly 5 weeks since I arrived here. And
Okay.
man, in some ways, it feels longer. Like, most of the people listening to this have not probably done a full summer in Vegas or a full World Series in Vegas, but it gets long out here. It just time flies on one hand, but it's just like, man, I feel like I've been gone forever.
Well, 5 weeks is actually a really long time. I mean,
It is.
I mean, if you're obviously in the grand scheme of things, it's not, but it's enough time for you to become so, what's a good word? Anyways, just so like used to your surroundings, essentially, that you kind of forget almost what it's like back at home. But I will tell you, it is green, it is lush, and it is hot.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I played 9 holes of golf today, and it was, man, it's like, I don't even know. Let's see what Siri says. Siri, what's the weather today? 92 degrees and a lot of humidity. So I was sweating just standing there. Anyways, but hit the golf ball real good today. That was nice.
There we go. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, man. I'm pretty hyped on it. But anyways, so looking forward to escaping the heat into even hotter weather, but maybe a little bit drier.
Yeah,
let's be real. I'll be in the AC the entire time.
You'll be in the AC the entire time. You're coming out for the World Series of Poker main event. It's the most prestigious poker tournament in the world.
Dude, I get giddy. I was watching day 1 last night. Day 1A. They had Scott Blumstein, 2017 main event winner. I think he was 2017.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
So he was on there. He nit rolled. I logged in, saw him nit roll some guy with an ace high flush versus a king high flush, but the board was paired. But the whole table, after he tanked like 2 minutes and called the whole table, was like, what is this guy doing?
That's funny. I'll have to watch that.
If you can find it, who knows? Anyways, but
I guess I won't. Realistically, I won't.
Yeah, I know you won't. And then apparently later on in the night, they had Martin Cabral on there. I'm torn about Martin Cabral. First off, the dude just won the mini main event after how many final tables already?
4th of the summer, maybe. I mean, you're right. He won the mini main event, which had over 10,000 entries.
$1,000, but 11, I think. Maybe you're right. I
think it was like 10.8. Okay. 10.7.
Let's round up, baby.
Let's round up.
I'm torn. How do you feel about Martin Cabral? We won't stick on this too long. We got some hands to get into, but I'm just curious.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if we mentioned, he is now actually leading the Player of the Year.
Oh, I kind of figured that might be the case. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Even though Benny Glazer's won 3 bracelets this summer, Martin Cabral's now in first place for Player of the Year. So Martin Cabral, I kind of enjoy watching him on stream with the high rollers. Like, I also can feel their annoyance towards him.
Yes.
I don't have a super strong opinion on him. That being said, I would be entertained by it if he won Player of the Year.
I would be too. And I want to say, I think I do have a hot take. And I mean, actually, I think maybe it's not hot because I bet there's a lot of people who agree with me. While it would be very annoying to sit at his table and mildly entertaining occasionally, right? Like he has his moments. For poker, I think he is very good. And what I mean by that is he's a character in a game where there's no characters anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like imagine early 2000s when we had all these different types of players, all these different types of characters, good guys, bad guys, neutral guys, we'll say. But Martin kind of brings me back to that era of poker, just in a little bit more of an annoying way. Like I was trying to watch him. I was catching up on some of the coverage I missed from the main event this morning while I was doing some work. And after like 40 seconds, I just shut him off. I couldn't take it, even just watching him.
Yeah.
However, it goes both ways. I found myself laughing at a lot of his antics as well. And specifically that one where Nick Schulman looked at him and he's like, "What pussy?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Take off your
So
glasses." He's like, "Okay."
so there's the one thing that I would say about him is he sometimes takes way too long. Like he tanks for a
His
long time
tanking is
unnecessarily.
that has got to
So
go.
I think that's really bad for poker, but I think his antics are actually good for the TV portion of it.
Yeah, simple as that, in my opinion. But, anyways, I know some of our people in our Discord were saying that they had the opportunity to play with them, found it kind of
Yeah,
entertaining.
a
So,
surprising amount of people actually did. I think at
yeah,
least three.
that's crazy. But, anyways, yeah. So, but again, one more thing I want to get into before we kind of get into the spaghetti and meatballs today. But
The spaghetti and meatballs. All right.
I'm kind of hungry. Uh, is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Now, I know you've read into it a little bit. I've read into it slightly. Here, I've heard some things, heard some other things. What? Give me your thoughts. What does this mean for professional poker players? What does it mean for recreational poker players? Are we dust in the wind? Is it going to affect us? What are you thinking? And
So
maybe explain the bill too to people.
I will, yeah. And so first off, I'm gonna start by saying like you and I are not tax professionals and so like anything we say about taxes here it's still this is a podcast for entertainment purposes only and like please talk to an accountant, talk to a professional if you have any actual questions about it,
Hey,
but
you're getting good at this. You're getting good
yeah,
at
we want
this.
to make sure all our bases are covered.
Yeah.
um so basically what it says is
Is to put
starting
all
in
your money on red
yeah,
and
put all your
then
money on red.
and that's it.
Actually, that would be fine because then if you win, you don't have any losses, so it doesn't even affect it.
Ah, fair.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you were to lose, you'd still pay money, right?
No, because you don't have any winnings.
True. Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah. So what it is if you basically what it says is you are only allowed to write off up to 90% of your losses against your winnings. Whereas
Okay.
now, so now if you're a poker player, if you are reporting winnings from gambling income, so either you're a professional or you're a recreational who has had enough winnings, um, now what you're able to do is, and this is currently before the bill, you are allowed to write off 100% of your losses up to the point of your winnings. So you
Hmm.
can't, if you're a poker player, you can never declare a loss on the year like other businesses. So like I'm a professional poker player, but I can't carry over a loss. So if I were to
Yeah.
lose money, I
It's stuck
cannot
to this
write
year.
that off the next year. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
But I do get to write off and even if you're not a professional, you get to write off any losses against your winnings. So if you're
Yeah,
paying taxes on poker,
you just can't
you're
write off
only
like traveling expenses, right? Things like that.
so as a professional, I get to write off stuff like travel, food while
Right.
travel, training sites, coaching,
Yeah.
all these other expenses that go into it. If you're not a professional, you just get to write off your losses
Mm.
versus your winning. So you
Yeah, yeah,
effectively
exactly.
you pay taxes on the profit you make in a given year, which I think makes sense. Now, what this bill is saying is you only get to write off 90% of your losses. And this may not initially sound like that big of a deal because it's like, oh, you still get to write off most of your losses. Like it can't be that much. Right? But here's how I would look at it, especially if you're in the high stakes community. But it also just affects tournament players, I think, disproportionately. Where let's say you're someone who makes, let's say you made 100 grand playing poker next year. That could mean a few different things. That could mean you had like if you're recreational, that could mean you played one tournament and made 100K profit, in which case this doesn't affect you at all. If you're someone in the high roller scene who has, let's say you have $10.1 million in loss or in winnings and then 10 million in losses. So 100K profit.
Yeah.
Basically break even for that sort of
Yep.
those sort of stakes. Well, now you're only allowed to write off 9 million out of that 10 million. So even though you only made 100K profit, you would be paying taxes on 1.1
1.1.
million.
Oh my
So
God.
you would not only would you have to pay the IRS all your profit for the year, but an additional couple few thousand
Well,
$100,000.
correct me if I'm wrong on this, but from my understanding as well. So let's kind of go back to the high roller thing. So, or
Yep.
for any roller, we'll say. But anyways, you won $10 million right away at the beginning of the year. Then you go off and blast off $11 million. So you lose more than you won. You can still potentially have to pay in. Is what I've heard from others.
Yeah, it's possible. Like if you're like, let's say, because if it was 11 million, if you had 10 million in winnings, 11 million in losses, now you're only allowed to write off, it would be 9.9 million would be 90% of 11 million.
Yep.
So you would actually still have to pay taxes on 100K of profit.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
lost 1 million on the year, and then you owe the IRS like 20 or 30 grand or something.
That'll teach those damn gamblers. I
Right,
don't know.
yeah.
It's actually crazy. But I mean, there's word on the street that there's, some legislators out there that are working to possibly make some amendments to the bill. I know the president hasn't signed off on it yet, but they're expecting him to. I guess we'll see what kind of changes can hopefully be made to that because ideally, while I don't file as a professional, because I do real estate as my profession, but I uh I feel bad for people, especially people like you. I mean, who hit big scores and then lose more that and some at the end.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's not even
There was
about
a joke
big.
in there, Wes. Laugh, all right.
I I guess I was
Idiot.
responding to the spaghetti and meatballs of that as you would say, but it's not even only professionals though. Like now I and this is where it gets kind of murky, but like if regardless of if you're getting a tax form for it or not, like you're supposed to be reporting your gambling wins and losses on the year and or even if you get some tax forms and like even if it's not big wins and losses, like let's say you just over the course of the year you accumulate like if I had 250K in winnings and 200 in losses and 50K profit, well, now there's 20K less of losses I can write off. So I'd probably owe like instead of 50K, I'd owe taxes on 70K, which is like probably another 5 or 6K. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like,
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, this is not professionals or non-professional. Like this affects now obviously professionals are playing for a profit, but like if you're an amateur or recreational poker player, the law applies equally to you. Um it's just that you might not be as affected by it. Um
Okay. All right.
but but yeah, and I will say like so I know that myself and others have S corps set up where, and this is where I really don't know all the details, um, but our taxes through the S corp may be reported differently. I don't know how this applies to us. Um,
You know what?
this is where
You know
you
what
want to,
really puts me to sleep, Wes?
yeah.
Talking about taxes. Let's talk some fucking poker. I'm over this.
I
Finish your
yeah,
thought. Finish your thought.
um, I mean that is kind of the thought. Like if you yeah, like I don't know if there are different workarounds. That's something you'd want to talk to your accountant about. Um, yeah. So I guess that's it. And my final thought is, and I just thought of this right before we started recording, is you know what? Maybe Trump did this to as a little bit of a fuck you to gambling because of his failed casinos back in the day. We like
Dude, I get it. You're probably right.
it
Because,
does
yeah, the Trump casinos did not do well. I think like the Trump Tower doesn't even have a casino in it.
like in
From my,
Vegas.
yeah, I think
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never been in it, but I think that's what I've been told. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
I've never heard of anyone going there.
Yeah.
Like, anyways, so
You can buy sweeps coins from them though. They have
yes,
sweeps coin blackjack inside the Trump hotel. And speaking, oh my gosh, that's another thing. I've been hearing some news about sweeps coins. Let's save that. Let's put that on the docket for when we get some more information. But we might have some bad news about sweeps coins coming up. At least I think it's state by state, but
yeah,
we'll kind of we'll follow up on that when maybe some more develops. But so it's week 5 of the WSOP, Wes.
yep.
You have played, how many tournaments have you played this summer so far? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, I got it right here. So live tournaments, I have played 19.
Okay.
But in
Yeah.
terms of total buy-ins into those tournaments, it's 38.
30. Okay, that makes sense.
And well, 10 of those may have been in a particular tournament this last week.
Isn't that your baby that I let you unloaded the clip in?
Yep.
The,
So
at least, you know what? At least the one you have 10 bullets in had like what, 5 flights and was only $300 buy-in?
yeah, 4 flights. So that'll be the first thing we get into
4 flights.
here.
Okay.
So this last week, I mean, the Gladiator was the main tournament. That is my baby. So there are 4 flights. You can fire up to 3 times. 3 of those flights I did.
Damn, you almost
actually.
capped out.
I almost capped out. Prior to this, I had only fired 6 bullets in a live tournament twice, and this time I just shell out 10 buy-ins. Now, I will say,
yeah. It's
and
3K is like 3 MSPT, but less than 3 MSPT buy-ins, but yes.
yes, and I'll also say that you can make the money you can quite easily make the money without making day 2 in the Gladiator. Like only a little over 3% of the field even made day 2, while 15% cashed. So like on day 1A, 1B, and 1D, I cashed every time.
You cashed the same tournament 3 times.
I also broke my personal record for cashes in a tournament. But man, after that, I was just like so wiped. I was like, I just spent 4 days grinding this stupid thing. Granted, I late regged a lot, but
how are you feeling mentally?
I was doing fine. I mean, I would say fine overall. Like I'm taking today off. Yeah, it gets long out here, and I will also we'll get into my overall results. But yeah, it's been a bit frustrating in terms of the tournament scene. I mean, the online cash games, frankly, just literally the cash games on Club WPT have been like keeping me afloat. Not literally afloat, but like keeping the summer relatively break even.
You're buried 2 feet instead of 6 feet.
Yeah, like honestly, maybe not even a foot. Like I'm not even really down if you count the fact that I've sold action.
Well, and on top of that, you've qualified into what seems like every tournament. I mean, every time I talked to you, like I qualified into this, I qualified into that.
So let's go through my numbers and then we'll go through some of the hands from.
Let's do it.
So my total results on the summer now. So live tournaments, I am now down 9,097.
You're down 9,000 on live? Okay.
Yep. So that's live tournaments. And I mentioned I did sell some action. So really I'm down. I guess I don't even want to get into the specifics of that. So I'm down less than that for sure, but we'll just go with the raw numbers.
No, I think that's perfect. I mean, we don't need people. That's private business or personal business. But the know like how many buy-ins you've had, how many bullets you've had versus how many tournaments you played, and how much you're net up or down. Not you specifically, but imagine you had 100% of yourself.
Yeah,
I'm like I was only there for like a week and a half or something, not even, and I'm not too far behind you. So I guess Oh, you know what? No, actually, I bought in for $6,850 into tournaments. I don't remember how many total tournaments. Let's see. It was probably, I would guess, somewhere around 12 tournaments or
Yeah, that
less.
included online, right?
That includes online. Yep.
Okay.
So nothing that, I mean, again, this was just over a week. And then I cashed for 3,425. So that's what, 3,400. I had,
3,400.
yeah, 3,400
Yeah.
some change. So that's actually not too bad either. But I'm about to really, really take a chunk out of that debt, that
Yeah, it's
loss
gonna go
there.
one way or the other, right?
Yeah, it will be. It will for sure. But man, I get so giddy. Ugh.
I'm excited for both of us.
Yes, for sure.
Um, so online tournaments, so on WSOP.com alone, that's where the saddies have been. So this includes the satellites too, by the way.
Okay.
I'm down 5,371. In tournaments on Club WPT, I'm down 3,484. Tournaments on ACR, I'm down 1,817. So if we're doing the math there, online tournaments, I'm down something like 10.6K, meaning tournaments overall, I think I'm down 19.7K.
Okay. And
So
cash game, what have cash games done for you all out there to kind of balance that?
yeah, so the cash games on Club WPT, I'm plus 14,762.
Oh my God, you're still slaying in there.
Yeah. And then I played couple live, couple on WSOP. I'm down 670 in those. So in cash overall, I'm up 14 just 14.1 thousand essentially. And then
You're
I've
doing
gotten
quite okay then. So, I mean,
yeah. And then we
again,
got 884 in rakeback, which means overall I am like
84 what?
minus dollars.
Just $84 in rake back?
884
Oh,
in rakeback on
884. Okay.
WSOP.
I was like, wow, huge. $84 in rake
Yeah.
back. Really, really milking them.
Yeah. So yeah, overall on the Vegas summer specifically, I am minus like 4,700. And that, I've sold, as I said, I sold some action. So I'm actually pretty close to even right now, in terms of my own money.
I mean, being out there 5 weeks, that's pretty incredible, actually. I mean, a lot of people are real buried at this point.
Yeah.
And some people have a pile of cash in their pocket.
Yeah. It's
Shout out to Mike Puddinhead.
yeah,
He took everybody's
seriously.
money.
Yeah, overall it's certainly like disappointing so far.
Yeah.
Especially because like the money I've won, I could have won from my living room in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
But it's fine too. It's like
like where Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And like, you got to come out here and put yourself here. And while you feel like this now, uh, 11 months well, let's say 10 and a half months from now, you're going to be real freaking giddy again. You're going to be like, I mean, if we can afford to play poker at that point because of the big, beautiful bill act.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with the bill, maybe playing cash is a better way to go. I don't know. But
Yeah, that's
I,
true.
I actually will say, naturally, as my results may suggest, I'm thinking when I get back to Minnesota and when I restart my bankroll challenge in my stream, I think I
Yes.
will lean into a little more cash on both Club WPT and probably clubs.
Well, me personally, but I'm going to talk for others here as well as I think I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I don't get rid of the tournaments. We want more tournaments in our lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, mixing in some higher stakes cash games in there, not only to, help your, pad your roll a little bit, but just to kind of see. I think it's also really nice to see the changes you make from playing cash to playing tournaments in a
Yeah.
single session.
Totally. Yeah. And it's less volatile. And yeah, I know like if I hadn't been playing cash and been winning at cash and I was just like buried 20 to 25K on the summer, I would not feel happy right now about
No,
it.
for
And
sure. Yeah, that would not be good.
so
Let's get into some hands here. I know you got some stocked up, and I'm really looking forward to our next episode because I will also have some stocked up for us.
absolutely. All right. So I have a couple here these are from the Poker News Deep Set. And I actually have a bunch. We'll just kind of go and do as many
Oh,
as
I
time
didn't even know
allows.
you played that. And we hadn't talked much this
Yeah, I
week.
basically didn't.
Yeah. All right.
um,
All right.
so this was on Tuesday.
Okay. And it's
So,
Thursday today as we're recording.
yep. Yeah. So
The third.
we got in. So this is level 5. So I had gotten in level 2 or 3, but this is kind of a small hand, but kind of an interesting one too. So blinds are 300, 500, 500. We open to 1100 in the cutoff with ace 4 offsuit. Pretty much just bottom of range here.
How many bigs did you have?
Plenty, like
Okay.
50 or 60.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing that'll come into play. Um, the big blind defends, and he's actually a capable player. Most of the table seems pretty recreational. He seems sort of like a strong recreational, like a very experienced, strong rec player who has some
Yeah.
like, yeah.
When it's funny that when we say capable, like it's almost kind of a sign of respect. Like
Mm-hmm.
they can take some paths that aren't, basic.
He made what I think was a brilliant fold of pocket queens pre-flop
Okay.
against this guy. Anyways, but that happened later. So he defends, so the pot is 3K now. We have ace 4 off. Our suits are not that relevant. We have like the a black ace with the 4 of diamonds. Um,
Okay.
flop comes out. Flop comes out. Queen Jack 7.
Can I try and guess how you play this before you tell me
Yeah,
your
yeah,
action?
yeah. So Queen Jack 7, 2 diamonds, 1 heart.
Okay. You
He
had no
checks.
diamond in your hand? Sorry, did you say that?
4 of
Okay,
diamonds.
nothing too significant. Okay. Queen 6 7 or Queen 7
Queen,
6. I can't
sorry,
talk.
Queen Jack 7.
Oh, Queen Jack 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's what you said. Maybe I'm wrong. But
Maybe it
anyways,
wasn't.
I think you said Queen 7 6 or something. Anyways, okay, Queen Jack 6.
Queen Jack 7.
We're so good at this shit. Okay, 2 diamonds. Okay. He checks.
Yep.
There's 3K in the pot.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess. Oh, man, on this board, do you size up a little bit on this? Do you go like 20? Do you go like 2200? I
I
was
had
thinking
all
like
sorts of
I
ideas
was like
here.
either you're going like 800 or like 2200 was my thought. Those were like the two sizes I had.
Is there ever an argument to just check back here?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, there is an argument, but I think there's also an argument to just bet to get fold out all of his nothings.
What kind of nothings are, I mean, like, I agree, but just to, what kind of nothings would you expect
I
to
mean, all the 9 7s, all the 7 5 suited,
9 7s a pair?
or 9 6s suited. I mean, there's a ton. There's obviously a ton of hands that are nothings. And
Yeah.
then there's also a good amount of hands that have a draw of some sort, right? Diamonds, 9 10s open ended, 9 8s a gutter, 9 8s a gutter. He could have like obviously a lot of hands that have some sort of draw as well. So, do we want to check to pot control against those hands? Is that why we're?
Yeah, I don't, so you were
But
right initially.
But you also have range kind of advantage on this flop too, is another reason why I was thinking about it.
Yeah. This is one where I'm actually not that sure of what size to use. Um,
Because
I
it's a
think
little bit wetter, I was thinking a little bit bigger, but I don't know. Anyways, what happened?
yeah, so I bet 1300,
Okay.
so like a little over 40%,
Okay.
and I think it's fine.
In hindsight, what are you thinking? Do you
I
wish you
think
it sounds like
that
you wish you checked.
not really, like I think it would make sense to bet kind of bigger.
Okay.
Um and I'll actually go into we'll revisit that point later, but so I bet 1300 he called. So pot is 56.
Yep.
Turn is the 8 of hearts.
Okay. So 7 8 Jack Queen,
So
two
10-9
diamonds.
gets there, double hearts,
Yeah.
or 2 hearts now.
Okay, so it's a two-tone board.
Yep.
Okay. At this point, if he calls the flop, I mean, I think I'm just gonna try and get to showdown somehow with this hand, even though we have no showdown value. But
It's just like give up.
yeah, it seems like a give up hand. Yeah, he could just be all over it. I mean, he could have all the two pairs at this point. Yeah, it's either give up or really just fire away. It's like
Yeah, and this just isn't a great hand for it. Like he can
no.
have the nuts. He's not gonna. I guess we can beat King 10, King 9. I
What
don't know.
if you had the ace of diamonds in your hand? Would you bet big and then on a third diamond just send empty the clip? Maybe a
I
little too.
probably still wouldn't.
I mean,
Like,
again, it's also important to pay attention to the stage we're at in this tournament, and this is early in the tournament. Probably not too much going on. No need to really just blast off here.
yeah, I guess that part wasn't the factor, but I think you're right in that we just we just want to give up
Yeah,
on the 8 here.
yeah, yep. So
So we check back.
okay,
River is the 9, a black 9, spade or club.
so there's a four liner out there with no flush.
Yeah, or is that so? It's Queen Jack 7 8 9. Is that a a 10 makes a straight?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
there's
I'd consider that a four liner.
um
It just essentially means there could be a one card straight out there.
yes, definitely one card can make a straight. And we can have like I would have bet 10 9 on, but I can have like 10 8 suited, 10 7 suited, pocket tens, all the Jack 10, probably
Mhm.
Queen 10,
Okay.
maybe Ace 10, King 10. Like
I think our
so
opponent can have all the tens as well.
yeah, he can have a lot of tens here for
Okay.
sure. But he
I'm
decides to check.
okay. Well, I know you're not telling me a hand where you just check back here. So so let's get in.
Correct.
Okay, so there's how much in the pot again? 5,600.
56.
I'm gonna guess you bet 7,500.
Okay, I actually like that. I think that would be better.
Yeah.
I chose 4,200. I went 3/4.
Okay. Okay.
And he was looking at me, I was looking at the board, and he eventually folded. So
Oh,
that was
sick
good.
hand. Dude, what a
Yeah.
great hand. Wow. We don't get to know what he has or nothing. I mean, like, honestly, he probably had like third pair or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
maybe just had
he could have had
7-5 suited or something. I don't
he
know what.
probably had one pair.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
So
Okay. Well, that was a pretty, not very exciting hand, but uh, but no, we got some good discussion out of that. So that was the poker news, right? Man, I
yep,
love.
and this next hand is going to be quick,
Okay.
but it's from the same event. And I think there's a point, really 2 points, but there's one main point I want to make with it. So actually this player, we're at 3,600. This player opens the 1,200 under the gun +1. Someone calls in the hijack, and we're on the button with Jack 10 off, and I decide to overcall. I
Okay.
think with 2 players in, this is going to
You're really
technically
deep, right? You said?
we're pretty deep. I mean,
Yeah.
we're at least 50 bigs deep here.
I don't
This might
mind this in being in position. If you're out of position or in any other position, I would just send it straight to the muck.
yeah, and it's dicey, but apart from that one player, I thought like these other players aren't going to be too hard to play
You know what's
against.
good about having all the experience you have though, and then playing hands like this is you're not the type of player to get married to one pair hands. So you're not going to lose as much as an amateur would if they flop top pair here. Do you see what I'm saying?
That is such a good lead in into this hand. So
Oh God, here we go.
yeah. So then the big blind comes along. So the pot is 10, or sorry, it's 5,700.
hmm
The flop comes 10 9 6 2 clubs.
Okay. Do you have a?
Uh,
I mean, it doesn't matter probably, but do you have the jack
I
club?
actually had the jack of clubs.
Okay.
Big blind checks, and then the initial raiser C bets 2,500.
Okay. And you're next to act, right?
Nope,
There's,
hijack is
oh,
next
there's
to
four.
act.
There's four people in there.
It's 4 ways to the
Okay.
flop. Hijack calls.
Okay. Okay.
What do we do here?
Well, I mean, you don't just fold, do you? There's no.
What's the under the gun +1? What's his C betting range here? 4 ways as a
So,
good player.
under the gun one's the one who he c bet, right? And then hijack
Yeah, and
calls.
he's the good player.
And what's his C betting range here? And it remind me the board's 10-9-6, two clubs.
Yep. And he bet like
Okay, his
he
range
didn't
is
like down bet or anything.
he did okay, yeah. Well, 25 into 57, you said. Is that right?
Yep.
And the board was 10-9-6, two clubs. I mean, he's gonna do all broadways that he's gonna C bet all broadways that have any sort of straight draw here. Uh,
No, 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 no.
9-10. You don't think he's betting like Jack Queen?
I would honestly, I would mostly expect him to even check over pairs here, as well as all
Four
those
ways.
draws.
Yeah, four ways. I mean, you're probably right, but I don't I guess it depends on the type of player. I feel like most players are not going to. I feel like most players are just going to bet here from what my experience of playing with a ton of people. But you said he's a good player. And I know that here's
Mhm.
the truth is you have to be very careful when playing multi-way pots, especially four ways.
Yep.
Even with over pairs, like you said, because our opponents can have all the sets here. They can have all, 7-8 suiteds for the straights. Right.
Yeah.
So we could be drawing dead almost in some instances or near dead. But
Yeah. I think we beat no value here, and I think he's going to under bluff. I mean, not under. I just think four ways you should very rarely C bet into three players as a bluff. And we with the jack of clubs, we block the one hand, like
yeah, the
the very strong
yeah.
draws.
So I again, while I agree with you that we shouldn't be doing this, I feel like most people are doing that. They're betting their over
Yes.
pairs there. They're betting their top pairs there. They're betting straight and maybe even some straight. Like you might even see sometimes like king queen bet there with the gutter
Yeah.
and two overs. But anyways, the gutter to the nutter.
I guess the
But
point
I
being is,
fucking nailed it.
yeah,
I was like I said, you aren't gonna lose top. I mean, you're not gonna lose the same amount an amateur would in these spots.
yeah. So yeah, and I guess what I would say is like, e- with all that being said, like if he does bet his over pairs, that would make it even worse for me to call. Like we beat zero value from him, and even if he has the occasional semi bluff, like then the other guy calls. Like, what? How are we ever going to actually win this hand? So
If yeah, I mean, I think there's an argument if there's already three players in the hand and we're gonna flop top pair and just fold that we should probably just not even flat then. But I
we're
guess
we're
there are
going. Yeah, I mean, I would say we have a hand that it's better for making straights, and we're in position, and like
you're
he's
flop
not. I'm
you're trying to
assuming he's
flop big.
actually not going to c bet that much.
Yeah.
So like when he does, it's quite strong.
If that's the assumption, then I like your fold.
Yeah. So this is
Oh,
funny. So I fold big blind folds. Turn is another 10.
oh, sick.
Now he bets 6,600 and the other guy calls. And I'm like,
Well,
I
that's
think
weird that he bets this turn.
yeah, I'm like, I think he flopped a set or a straight or had 10-9 suited.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, like, yeah, because if he had at this point, definitely, if he has an overpair, he should be checking.
yep.
And he should be checking all those Broadway draws as well, probably. But
Yeah.
or not Broadway draws, but straight draws. You know what I mean? Anyways,
The end of the story, River Jack.
God, you're a nit.
He goes all in, the other guy
Are you
folds.
kidding me? Oh no! Oh no!
So
So he had pocket eights or something.
nines or
Or
sixes or
nine.
ten
Sorry, it
nine
was
suited.
10-9-6. Yeah, pocket
Yeah.
nines. Yeah.
And so,
Or
yeah,
heads.
I was chatting with him later and he said, "Oh, yeah, you were crushed on the flop."
Okay.
So,
So he flopped a set, and you went
yeah,
runner boat. Sometimes you just gotta buckle up and hang in there.
sometimes you have to just feel the backdoor full house coming.
Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
I hate, it's funny. Hindsight's obviously very clear, but sometimes you just want to turn your head and wish you didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. Even when I saw the 10 turn, I was like, honestly, this could still be terrible for me. Just don't put a jack on the.
Oh, and it's funny. I think one thing that we've developed as poker players who've played for a long time is the ability to remove that emotion. Like you see a lot of amateurs here, like after the hand's over, they have to like tell people, "Oh, I folded this. Like I would have won." Da, da, da. It's like even if I see I would have, I folded and would have made the best hand. Like it's happened so frequently that it just doesn't even affect me at all. And I think that's what people should strive for is like if you make what seems to be the right fold in the moment and the board runs out in favor of you, don't let that get to you ever, I guess, is my point.
Of course, yeah. Um, and yeah, you're right. Like you don't want to ever look at that and be like, oh, I should have called. Because honestly, I think all of my analysis there was spot on.
I think you made
Um,
an incredible fold and would have just got very fortunate. So
yeah, I would have had piles, and then yeah. Other than that, there wasn't a whole lot that went well. I think I peaked at like 36,000 off of a 30K starting stack,
I
and
love that tournament. I mean, I've only played it once because I think it's only the second year they've had it. But 40-minute levels day one, 60-minute levels day two, 600 buy-in. It's just
mhm.
juicy. How was your table draw? Pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. I was happy with. There's the one good player. Yeah, some really nitty guys, and
Oh,
some
okay.
this one blaster that just punted away
Oh,
60. He had like
we love when
three
those.
stacks and then just
Yeah,
launched it all.
I
And
love it when we get set with those. Just like one or two punters at the table. I will say, watching the main event coverage last night, I was especially Scott Blumstein's table. Like, I hope there's no one at that table listening to this because I all I gotta say is, man,
yum yum.
that looked like the best table I've ever seen, and it was in a $10,000 buy-in tournament. Like it looked like the daily 80 at Running Aces.
Yeah,
I've never played that tournament, but it's what I'd imagine it looks like. I actually don't even know if there's an $80 tournament at
there might
Aces.
be the
Sounds cool.
100. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Anyways, for the main event. I mean, that's part of what makes that so special and worth coughing up 10 G's for.
Yep. Um, there are a few other hands I have, mostly from some earlier tournaments. That being said, there were a couple things, and these are things we probably want to make separate episodes about moving forward. And I think I had mentioned them to you too a few days ago, but I was doing some studying and I sort of realized some spots where, you know, I think a lot of good players, including both of us, have developed a habit of c betting small on a lot of flops.
Yes. Yeah.
And even though I know that there's spots to c bet big, like a lot of times I'm not betting big enough because you can bet like half pot and see feel like that's a big c bet, you know?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it all depends on texture, right? Like, I have definitely one thing I have done, especially since you and I've started talking poker over the past couple of few years, is like being able to know when to bet small, but also like I'm not afraid to size up on boards, whether it's, whether I have whatever. I'm not going to get into a specific hand, but like, especially on wet boards, like I'm not afraid to size up, to just start charging things right out of the gate. Being mindful also with how many players are in the hand, etc. Like, but with not to get too off topic, but I don't know. I guess I'm just patting myself on the back here. So go ahead.
Totally. So what kind of sizing, let's say, so we open ace jack, and in fact, I'll get specific here. Blinds are 1K, 1500. We open ace jack offsuit to 3K in early position. Big blind defends. Flop comes jack 6-5 with the 6-5 of spades. We have ace jack with no spade.
So this is
He checks.
it's a dynamic board. And how deep are we?
We have like 60K back here,
Okay, so we're deep.
and
I mean,
pot is
relatively deep.
8,500.
Pot is 8,500. Honestly, I'm not going to size up on this board, even though a lot of that 5-6. So I look at the bottom half of this. The texture of this flop is obviously the 5-6 suited. There's going to be a lot of things that the big blind's going to defend that interact with that, which might be a reason for us to size up on this. But I mean, again, this is another flop where our opponent has a lot of nothings. Say he has King 5 offsuit. You know what I mean?
Then
Or
he has a pair.
God damn it. I always forget one of the cards. King 4 offsuit, King 8 offsuit. Anyways, um, my point is that I think on this board specifically, I would probably, you said there's 80 what in the pot?
85.
85. On this board, I'd probably bet like 2,300.
All right. So in game, what I did was I bet 4K.
Okay. So just under half. Okay. You love this like
And
40 to 50%, it seems.
yeah, and like, and this was one afterwards where I looked at the solver and it's like, and again, not that you have to follow the solver, but I think it just makes a ton of sense in this case where it's like, so basically what happened is I bet 4K, he called, pot is 16.5K. Turn is a 4, so it does bring in 7-8, but other than
What
that, it was
what
a
did the
blank.
solver say to bet there?
Bigger for
Bigger.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like
And I
I don't know,
mean,
like 80%, 83%, something like that.
for a C bet, you're saying?
Yeah, like bet
Okay.
6K or 8K.
I feel
Like
like this is also where my game could use some improvement, I guess. I mean, just in terms of what, what the solver would say. But and then we're assuming that's just because of the connectedness of the 5-6 suited, a 5-6 of spades in there.
I would assume so.
But also, I guess we could just charge worse jacks too.
That's a lot of it too, and a lot of it,
Because
you know,
I'm willing to bet if we had Jack 10 here, it probably wouldn't tell us to bet so big. Maybe I'm wrong though.
that's definitely possible. And fortunately, we can even look right now, but my guess is one, like we have a very strong hand on that board.
Did I say Jack 10 offsuit? We wouldn't be opening that from early position. Maybe we would.
I
But
guess not, but like
yeah,
Jack 10 suited.
Yeah.
Um, so what I would say is we have a very strong hand right now, but this hand is also likely to not be able to get value on the river. Like a king queen coming, a spade coming, uh there are just not that many blanks, I think is the way to look at it here.
Yeah.
And
Any overcard besides an ace we don't like. And then any other card that's somewhat connected with the 5-6 can create some straights. And
yeah. So okay, so actually the optimal sizing theoretically, we can go okay, this is a spot where we can mix sizings, but it generally leans larger. We can go 55, 83, or 125%. Like it would not mind overbetting.
Was that one of the episode ideas you had was overbetting, or someone
Yeah.
asked to do that if it wasn't you? I think that would be a fun episode to do, is really dial in on some good overbet spots. And I mean, just, channel our inner Michael Adamo.
Yeah, for sure. Like overbetting or just sizing up, making large bets versus small bets. Like what goes into what sort of bet sizing you should do. And
Yeah.
like, because I think people who are aware as poker players are sort of constricted into this betting between 30 and 80% all the time for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. I think you're
And
right with that.
you just don't like, there's no rule that says you have to do that. And there's no strategic reason to always stay in that range either.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will add just one note to pay attention to is a lot of the people we see that are winning a lot are doing things that other people aren't doing. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Like over betting the pot or betting really small or just doing things that are outside of the norm. So that's kind of maybe something we can keep in mind.
definitely. And it's the sort of thing too where I almost know it, but not well enough where I'm always implementing it, maybe. Like there are even boards like an ace jack 5 board with a flush draw where you want to see bet pot a lot of the time as
Is
the
that, wait,
pre-flop.
what flop did you just say?
Ace jack 5 with a flush draw.
Oh, that's pretty close to ace jack 4.
Ace jack, dude, I swear, every single time I see the ace jack 4 flop all the time now.
No,
And I don't know if every flop is just that common and that's the only one I'm noticing, or maybe it just pops up more frequently.
well, now that it's that, what is that, like recency bias or whatever it
Yeah,
is, where
confirmation.
confirmation bias. Anyways, where it's like you think about it, you're aware of it in your brain, so you see it more, you recognize it more. I remember, I won't tell that story, but anyways, to people who aren't aware of the context of that last kind of story, there is that maybe I don't know, a year ago or something, I was telling a story where my grandpa would say, on every flop, there's an ace, jack, or 4.
Yeah,
Makes sense. 4's flop the most sets, so that's kind of aligns with that belief. There's some
you're right.
confirmation bias right there.
Oh, there definitely is. Now, it is funny because as non-superstitious as I try to be, now every time I get pocket 4s, I'm like, oh, it's
Can't
coming.
help it, dude. I feel like there's a lot of listeners who have that same thought
Yeah,
process now. I mean, I do for sure. I do for sure.
yeah,
Every time I get pocket 4s, I'm like, oh, I'm I'm smashing a set. It might
yeah.
not be on the flop, but it's coming. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it would be a weird spot if you opened, I 3-bet you, you called, flop came like 4-4-4. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Fuck.
Like he can't have it though. I guess if it was like just ace 4 4 and I have pocket aces. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good one. Because I'm waking up with it, Wes. I always have pocket fours on any sort of four related board. But do you have any more hands you want to roll to before we start wrapping things up?
Okay, here's a nice one from this was actually my first bullet of the Millie Maker, which seems like forever ago.
Was it 2 weekends ago?
That was God, was that only 2 weeks?
Yeah,
That was I
yeah, it
think that was
was.
only 2 weeks
It was
ago.
only 2 weeks ago because I left right as the first flight started,
Yeah.
and now I'm coming back. So yeah, 2 weeks.
So okay, so here's the situation. Um we we have ace queen of hearts in the low jack.
Fold.
Big blind, it's three 500, so big blind's 500. We open to 1100.
Okay.
Both blinds come along.
Okay. Ace
We
queen of
get
hearts.
Yeah, ace queen of hearts.
Okay.
The flop comes out jack 10 5 with
One heart.
no hearts.
No hearts. I'm always looking for that heart when we got two, the gutter to the nutter with some backdoor flush draw.
Yeah. And I believe there were two diamonds on the flop.
Okay.
Anyway, so the pot now is 3,800. Sorry, no, it's 4,100. I made it 1,200 pre-flop.
Okay. Okay.
The pot's 4,100.
Three
And
ways, though. 3 ways. Okay.
the small blind leads 1K.
10. Okay. 10 jack. So you have, so a king gives you a straight, right? It's 10
Yep.
jack. Okay.
Jack 10 5.
Jack 10 5. No. And what did so how much was in the pot again?
41, and then he
And
leads 1K. So big blind folds. So now it's a pot of 5,100, I think.
Call me an absolute spew, but I'm raising here.
Okay, that's interesting. I was wondering that. What are your thoughts here? He's kind of saying he's got a weak showdown hand and we have plenty of equity. And
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a block bet in some senses. It could be. It could. I mean, literally, you could do this with any of the pairs.
yeah.
Also, like regardless of what our hand is, just punish the donk leads.
Yeah.
Punish
Just.
the fucking donk leads, especially these small ones where people think they can get away with this. Good luck, buddy. No, I would like to see you raise to like 3,500 here.
Okay. I like that.
And there's another reason I want to explain on why I would do that is because if I raise here, now I'm taking betting lead. If he just ends up calling, we'll say. So say he calls, we have betting lead, we have the betting power on the turn, to which if we want to, we say we don't improve in any way, we can then check back and get to see the river for free at our own price.
Yeah. We can also just keep repping over pairs.
Well, that's primarily my point, but I'm just saying as another option too. Like we can now have the option to check back the turn if we want to.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I like just betting the turn more so.
Yeah.
Whether we improve our hand or not. Because here's the thing: is we still have against all of his one pair hands, we still have a decent amount of equity as long as we're not
Yep.
sharing any of the overcards.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems logical. I went for a call. I definitely wouldn't have minded a raise though in retrospect.
Okay.
Turn is a 6, and it's either I should have just remembered this, but regardless, there was either two diamonds on the flop, or if there was one diamond on the flop, the 6 is the second diamond. So now we have a board of Jack 10 5 6 with two diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Ace Queen of Hearts.
There's a lot of draws out there.
Yeah, he leads 1,200 into 6,100.
This is so weak.
I know.
This is so weak. But the issue is you. I mean, I'm willing to say that you probably don't have showdown value at this point. You could have like one of the mini straight draws out there that haven't completed, and he's just trying to control the price,
Yeah.
or maybe even a flush draw. But I mean, at this point, do you attack? Does that make any sense? Like, if you say you had pocket jacks here, would you flat the flop raise?
I think with the bet being so small on the flop, I would raise small and just try and keep everything in.
That makes more sense actually, because you want to be able to build the pot too, especially when you're at that depth. So that makes sense. You would raise there. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, I guess. Unless
So
you
yeah,
have
we're
like pocket
betting,
sixes, but
we're getting like 6-1 here.
I'm not
It's just,
folding. I'm not
huh?
folding. I'm not
Yeah.
folding.
So I call here. I think raising looks
We can
less
assume that
credible on
any
the
ace,
turn.
king, or queen can give us the winning hand.
Yeah, exactly. I'm assuming I have 10 outs here, and if the king comes, I could
Yeah.
potentially get a value raise in
Yeah,
depending.
exactly. And then he bets the river 1,500. It's his
Right.
little
Well,
rat. So that's
you're not.
just that's rat shit right there. That is,
Yeah.
don't do that.
So
I'm gonna
you're not
punish
you're
you.
not far off.
So you got like
Um,
18 or something.
so the pot is now 8,500. The
Shut.
river is an offsuit 9.
Oh, so you got the queen in your hand.
You know what hand gets there is king queen,
Yeah,
which is enough. It's very similar to what I
very
have.
easily could be the hand you have. Yep.
And he bets 2K
Oh,
now.
oh, I love this. I love where this
Yeah,
is going. Okay, so he bets 2K into 80. What was it?
8,500.
So there's 10-5 in the middle. We're gonna assume that I mean, if he goes three streets, does he just have like Jack X here? I mean, well,
I'm
here's
thinking
the
like
issue.
king 10.
King 10, yeah. King 10 makes sense because what would suck is if he had like Jack Queen here, but he wouldn't bet that size on the river with Jack Queen probably.
Who knows what he shouldn't
Well,
be doing any of the things
he's in
he's
the
doing.
small blind, right? So it's like
Yeah.
what hands is he flatting from the small blind? Oh, yeah,
A
King
lot of
10.
Broadways make
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. That's what my thoughts. So Queen Jack's a possibility, but I don't think he would have played Queen Jack as such, especially with the river sizing. King 10 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, or wait, 10 Jack, maybe even no, King 9 wouldn't make sense. Queen 9 would now be two pair, right? Or no, Queen 9
Queen nine's just third pair now.
third pair now. Yeah, so he could have Queen 9. So I'm thinking he's got like Queen 9 or King 10.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Anyways,
any of those, like queen 10, king 10, ace 10,
you made it 9,500, he folds.
pretty much 85. I actually went, or no, I only went 8K,
AK. Okay, and
which
still
is
worked.
actually
Okay.
deceptively small. Like it's big compared to his bet, but once you put, if I were to call the 2K, the pot is 12.5. So it's really only, I'm raising 6K. So I'm raising like half pot here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, he thinks for like 30 seconds and folds and
I love
felt
it,
good.
dude. I love it. So
Yeah.
here's just so like there's a multiple routes you could take with this hand to win it. Like you could probably just raise the flop. Maybe you wouldn't have if presuming you had one of the straight draws, you probably is not going to fold. Then you could just either double or triple to win it. But I like your route too, like where you ended up just having, blockers to the straight and you have the hands like your range is full of all the hands that are nutted now. So you can just raise as a
Yep.
bluff here. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
like I could even, this is a small
This
enough
was a
raise
good
where
hand.
I would actually
I like
play
this
like
hand.
Jack 9 suited or 10-9 suited this way too. Maybe even pocket nines, like 7-8 suited where we flop a gutter, turn open ended. Like there's actually a sneaky amount of, and obviously all the king queens.
I will
Um,
say you can exploit me to any listener here. Feel free to exploit me, but donk bets that are just like min leads, like third pot or less, I'm gonna be punishing the hell out of you. I will say, and vice versa. Like here's where you can
oh, I'm
exploit
gonna
me.
do
Yeah,
our
start
next
start
meetup
donking
game.
like
I'm
two
gonna just
third.
be leading for one or two bigs
Oh,
in the
oh, and you'll just
end.
get snap raised.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, yep, yeah. And then we'll see what happens. And then you're gonna flat me with your set, and then I'm gonna river a straight, and
No,
you're
I'll
gonna
min click 3-bet you.
That's when we get into uncharted territory. Like
Yeah,
I don't know about the post flop four bets, but um
I
no
cannot
no
wait.
three bet. Yeah. So yeah, right, yeah, four bet. So
Yeah,
anyways, but that was a good hand. I like that one. That
that
was a
was a good one.
yeah.
Ironic. I think that was the only hand I won on that bullet of the Millie Maker, but it was a good one. So,
What has been your deepest run so far? Remind me. You had
oh,
one
the
deep run.
Colossus.
Yeah. What did you get in that again? Remind me.
69th out of over 16,000.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick.
It was, man, that I was talking to one of my roommates about it. Like, that felt like it was so similar to the Gladiator in some ways, but like it was such a good run, but it just wasn't that big of a score, all
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
considered,
Yeah.
which is why,
What was it again? Like 10K?
8,700.
8,700. That is painful because it's like it is such a deep run. So what is that? It's like under 1%, top one. Oh wait, how many people were in the tournament?
It was in the top 0.5%.
Top
Like
0.5%.
160 was 1%, 80 was 0.5%. So
Yeah,
like,
that's sick.
yeah, any other tournament that's like final table, but yeah, unfortunately that one that was my deepest run. I've only cashed one online bracelet event too, which is unfortunate.
All right.
Um,
Let's take a moment here. You do
yeah,
it with me, and anyone who's listening who's playing the main that hasn't yet. Let's take a moment. We're gonna put our hands up, go into Zen state, and just imagine having an absolute pile in the main event. We're gonna channel that. It's coming to us. There it is, Wes. I love that you're following along
there
with
we
this.
go.
All right. Piles in the main. That is the theme for the
That is the
next week.
theme.
Let's do this. So I'm so excited to come out there and hang out with you and just chase dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not over yet, baby. And
No, and lastly too, my plan this summer was to, even if I bust the main, to play stuff after it.
yeah, there's some good stuff afterwards.
Yeah. I have not fully decided. I'm leaving that up to how I feel after the main. That's kind of,
I think that's the best policy because then you'll just you're not going to put yourself in a spot where you're playing and don't want to be or shouldn't be because of being tired or whatever it might be.
of course, yeah.
I mean, just mentally drained, right? So
Yeah. Oh, it's a very mentally draining, and especially when it's the world championship. And granted, I'm selling much more of myself for this than I have for the rest of the summer, but
yeah,
it's still like a 10K when I'm mostly playing 15 or
give me like
1700s and
give me
below
like a two
throughout the
ball.
year.
Give me like a two ball, buddy, or one ball or something. We'll talk later, but give me a
We'll talk.
little
We'll
bit
talk.
of that. Um, or a sweat or a swap or something. But we'll chat
Yeah.
about that off the podcast here. But you know what? Let's do something different. Let's not even plug anything today. The people know the plugs.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back with the plugs next week when they're fresh. After we have maybe we won't even have to record next week because we'll both be on like day 6 of the main.
That's the plan.
I don't know if day 6 is even at that point. Probably like day 4. But
Day 5 will be Thursday next week.
okay. Yeah.
So,
All right. Yeah. So I was right there. Okay. Let's just have piles. Channel it.
yeah.
Oh. I can't wait, brother. I will be in there tomorrow morning. I'll hit you up when I'm in town. To everybody else who is either, at the WSOP, whether you're playing the main or any of those other events, I just want to wish you guys the best of luck. Let's finish the summer strong here with some nice scores, or just, I mean, even if it doesn't end up being a big score, just have some fun. Be thankful that we get to play this game. And yeah, let's just go in with a positive mindset and hopefully leave with that same mindset.
Let's do it.
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, and we'll catch you guys hopefully not next week with another episode of the Suited Kings podcast.